Hello everyone, welcome back again to Excel with Ugo. In today's video we will be looking at the second part of the foundation of Excel. If you haven't seen my first video on foundation of Excel part 1, please check and click the link in the description box below so you can get the overview of the Excel layout. After today's video, you'll start to feel more confident in using the Excel spreadsheet because you will be learning how to input data into cells, shortcut keys to help you work in an effective and efficient manner, how to format cells to make your work look presentable, how to work with charts, how to prepare your document for printing, and a lot of others. So we will be working on a simple practical exercise, more like a sales projection, to help us achieve our goal for today. I'll start by typing month. Then I'll press the tab key or the right arrow key to move to the right. Then I'll type 2022. Press tab key, type 2023. Then press enter. So I'll type in January. Now we wouldn't have any need to start filling the months individually, because Excel already recognizes that what we are trying to fill into the cells is a month. So instead of typing the months one by one, we will be utilizing the autofill function of Excel by using the fill handle, which is this cross-like sign at the bottom right corner of the cell. Note that the fill handle is different from this other icon that has a 4-pointer arrow. That one is called the move handle, but what we would be needing at this time is the fill handle. So once you put your cursor at the bottom right corner of the cell, the moment you see the fill handle, you left click and drag. You can see that while you're dragging, the names of the other months are reflecting, so you can easily identify where to stop. If you don't want to use this method, you can choose to do it another way. So the moment you see your fill handle, instead of left clicking, you right click and drag while looking at the months as you're dragging, and when you get to your desired stop, you release your hands. Then you either select the fill series or the fill months option. So whichever one you choose will give you the same result. You should note that sometimes when you're typing, your text may be long enough that it starts crossing into the other cell, just as you can see in September there. Although it may look like it's utilizing two cells, but that's not the case. It is actually in one cell. We'll come back to that. Let us try filling the sales figure for each of these months in the year 2022. Let's say January sales this year is 500,000 naira. You press enter. February sales, we'll say 550,000 naira. Press enter. We'll just fill the rest of the month. Remember, this is a simple exercise on sales projection, so let us assume that for this company, based on their trend analysis, their year 2023 sales will increase by 15% of what was done in 2022. Let us create a formula to help us do the math. In Microsoft Excel, formulas always start with the equal sign. So what you need to do is to select the cell you want to apply the formula, and you type the equal sign. Then you select the cell you want to reference in the formula, which in this case is cell B2. We are saying that we expect the sales figure of January 2022 to increase by 15% in January 2023. So we multiply cell B2 by 115%, which could also be 115 divided by 100. That is cell B2 times 1.15. Click enter. So we are hoping that in January 2023 we'll be selling items worth 575,000 naira. Because we want the same formula to apply to other months, what we'll be doing is to copy the formula down. So you go back to the cell at the bottom right corner. Once you see the fill handle, you left click on it and drag down. If you don't want to use that method, there's another way you can go about it. What you need to do is to go back to the cell that contains the formula you're trying to copy down, which in this case is cell C2. Then you press and hold down your shift and your down arrow key together to highlight the other part of the cells you're trying to copy your formula to, then you type Ctrl D and you get the same result. You can also choose to use the copy and paste function by copying the cell that contains the formula. You can use the shortcut key Ctrl C to copy, then you highlight the other cells where you want to paste it. When you get to your desired stop, you click Ctrl V for paste or you click enter. These are simple ways you can copy and paste formulas in Microsoft Excel. If you want to learn more advanced ways to copy and paste data in Microsoft Excel, I'll be doing a video to expose you to those options so you can start working with them. When you select a particular cell, you will see the formula contained in that cell in the formula bar. You can see from the formula bar that the sales projection for each month in 2023 contains the formula relative to their respective months in 2022. Now let's do some formatting to make this work look more presentable. First off, we need to highlight the numbers we want to format. To highlight using your keyboard, you hold down your shift key and your right arrow key to highlight to the right. Then you hold down your shift key and your down arrow key to highlight downwards. But to do this more quickly, you hold down your shift and control key and press the down arrow key to highlight to the last number in your column. This will save you time, especially when you're working with lots of data. Next, we go to the number group in the home ribbon and use the comma style to separate the numbers into thousands. You can see that separating the numbers into thousands using the comma style makes it clearer to read the numbers better. So now let's expand this column to make it wide enough to fit in the content of these cells that did not initially fit in, just like September. To do that, you put your cursor in between the column that contains the content for which you want to expand and the next column following it, as in this case between column A and column B. And once you see the resize arrow, which is this double pointer arrow, you double click on it, then it will expand the column. You can also choose to click and drag and you get the column expanded as well. Now let's align our years to the center. You need to first highlight the years, then you go to the alignment group in the home ribbon and you click on the align center, and that's done. The next thing I would like to do is to put a title on this work, and since I don't have any space to do that, I would insert a new row. To insert a row in Excel, you place your cursor on the row number above which you expect the new row to appear. Once you put your cursor on that number, you click on it to ensure that the entire row is highlighted. Then you right click and you click on insert. Then you get a new row. You right click, click on insert, then new row appears. If you want to insert more than one rows, instead of inserting the rows one by one, to save time, you can highlight the number of rows you would like to appear. Then right click and click on insert, and the number of rows you highlighted would appear. The shortcut key you can use to achieve this is Alt HIR. You first of all put your cursor on the cell above which you want to insert a row, and you type Alt HIR and a new row will be inserted. Please note that if you want to insert more than one row, you highlight more than one cells and type Alt HIR, then the number of rows you want would be inserted. Now let's type our company name. Let's say the name of our company is ABC Company Limited. Then the next is the title of our work, which is year 2023 sales projection. You can see that the headings look as though they are occupying more than one cell, but ideally they are not. It is contained in only one cell, which is in cell A1 and cell A2 respectively. But in this case, instead of adjusting the column to make the headings fit into only one cell, I'd rather be using the merge and center option. Merge and center helps you to merge two or more cells into one big cell. You first highlight the number of cells you'd want to merge together, then you go to the alignment group and the home tab and you click on merge and center. You can see now that the headings are now contained into 3 cells merged as one. and position nicely in the center. I would like to create a space between the name of the company and the title of the work, just for distinction purposes. I think it looks better this way. Let us make our headings bold. To do that, you go to the font group in the Home tab and you click on the bold icon represented as the letter B. It makes the heading bold. You can also use Ctrl B, which is the shortcut key to bold. Still in the font group, you can choose any color of your choice to color fill your cell to make it stand out. There is something you should take note of when inputting data into cells in Microsoft Excel. If for any reason you want to edit a particular text in a cell because there was a mistake, let's say for example December was spelled wrongly and we want to correct it. The moment you select the cell where the text is contained and you start typing on top of it, it removes the data you had contained in the cell before, and what you will see is the new text you type in. What you should do instead is to type in the cell and not on the cell. In Microsoft Excel, there's a difference between typing in the cell and on the cell. For you to type in the cell, first select the cell where you want to make your correction and double click, and only when you see the pointer flashing, as you can see now, can you now start editing to correct your mistakes as you would want to. But if you fail to double click to get that pointer flashing, the moment you type any information on the cell, whatever information or data you had before will be removed. So to type in the cell, double click in any area where you would want to make that correction and do your correction as you would want to. In Excel, by default, when you press the enter key, it takes you down the spreadsheet. The enter key takes you down the spreadsheet, or you can choose to use the down arrow key to go down the spreadsheet. But when you want to go back up, you hold down your shift key and press enter to go up. Hold down the shift key and press enter, or you use the up arrow key to go up the spreadsheet. In the same vein, if you want to go to the right, you press the tab key. The tab key takes you to the right of the spreadsheet, or you use the right arrow key. But if you want to go back to the left, you hold down the shift key and press tab. Hold down the shift key and press tab, or you use the left arrow key. So basically, the shift key is used to do an opposite of what your original action would have been. Having done this, let us try to rename our sheet. Just double click in the Sheets tab and rename. Let's say we want to name this sheet as Sales Projection. You can also right click on the Sheet tab and select Rename in order to rename the sheet. I'll just bolden this. Then let's try putting this data in a border. To create a border, you first highlight all the data you want to put inside the border. Then you go to the font group and the Home tab and you click on the drop down arrow beside the border. You select all borders. Then you can see that we already have our border. Now let's move to creating our chart. The first thing you would want to do when you want to create a chart is to highlight all the data you would want to appear in your chart. Then you go to the Insert tab. You click on the Insert tab and you go to the Chart group. You can see that there are various chart options you can choose from. You can choose to use this or this chart style or this chart style, depending on what you want. But let's go with this style. You click on it. Then your chart appears. You can also use the shortcut key Alt F1 to create your chart. Alt F1. But remember to first highlight your data and you press Alt F1 on your keyboard. then your chart will be displayed. Once your chart is displayed, you put your cursor inside the chart and you will see this move handle. Then you can now click and drag to a better position where you would want to keep your chart. When your chart is displayed, you can now edit it to suit your presentation style. The three icons on the right hand corner can be used to edit and format your chart based on how you want it to be presented. The first one there is the chart element. Going through the list in the chart element will help you decide on which of the box you want to check and which one you would want to leave out. So just take out time and explore them. The next icon there is the chart style. You can click on styles to select any chart style of your choice, or you click on colors to choose any color of your choice. The third icon there is called the chart filters. With the chart filters, we can remove the title month among the list of months inside the chart. Just go to the category section and uncheck the box month. Then you click on apply. You can see that the month is out from the chart. Now let's edit the years. You go to the series section and you place your cursor on series 1. Click on the pen and the sheet icon. You'll see a new box provided where you can type in your year. You type 2022 and we click OK. You go back to the chart filter. This time you click on series 2, click on the sheet and pen icon, and we change to 2023 and you click OK. You can see now that the years have been changed accordingly to 2022 and 2023. And year 2022 is represented by the blue bars, while the year 2023 is represented by the orange bars. And this is applicable to all the months. We can also change the chart title. Let's change the chart title to sales projection. We can choose to bolding it as well, or highlight it and click on bold. So it has been changed. So these are ways you can format your chart. Now let's move to printing our work. You can either use the shortcut key Ctrl P to print, or you go to File, you click on Print to preview your document. And on the preview, you can see that it's showing us page 1 of 2, meaning that this document is overlapping into 2 pages. So what we will do is to try and adjust the pages. You go to the page break preview to adjust the number of pages of this document. With this blue dotted line you can see here, you drag it to the end so that it's able to cover and fit into 1 page. Then let's go back to our preview to see. Looking at this document now, you can see that it's fitting into 1 page, but it's tiny. So let's go to the page setup and adjust our orientation to landscape to make it wider. We can also adjust the size to 100. Then you click on OK. Now it looks clearer and it's fitting better. But let's try adjusting the length of the chart so it fits with the length of the table. Let's go back to the main page and you go to the normal view. Then you click on the chart and you use this adjusting arrow to adjust the length of the chart to match the length of the table. We can now go back to preview our work. Looking at it right now, you can see it looks more clearer and much more presentable. So when you're satisfied with your work and you're ready to print, if you're connected to the printer, you click on print to print your work. So we'll be stopping here for today. I hope you enjoyed this simple practical exercise to help you familiarize yourself with some of the essential tools of Microsoft Excel. By now, you should have learned how to input data into cells and how to format your cells, how to create a chart, how to adjust your work for printing, and some useful Excel shortcut keys. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section below and I will do it to answer all. I would also be attaching the template of this exercise so you can have access to it. Please click on the notification button so you'll be notified anytime a new video is put up, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Thank you for watching and see you in other videos.